Town to City is a beautiful, cozy city builder with tons of customization options. But if you're new to the game, it's easy to miss some features or make decisions you'll regret later. So, I've put together 10 beginner tips that will save you time and effort. First things first, one of the simplest but most overlooked feature is that you can actually change the name of your town. Just click on the town name at the top left of the screen. It's a small detail, but being able to rename your maps instead of sticking with the default names makes your save files feel way more personal. When you're first building houses, the default option is to have random building colors. But if you want to, you can uncheck the randomize box over here and you can actually choose which color of the house you prefer. If you want one area to be pure white houses, just select that color and place them all together. You can also press C or V to change between the item variations easily without having to uncheck randomize every time. Of course, you can always check the randomized box again if that's what you prefer. The same thing applies to decorations and trees. You have full control over the variations or colors, or you can just randomize everything. My favorite part of this game is that there are decorations you can place directly on houses and shops. For example, small potted flowers change appearance depending on which part of the house you hover them on. But here's the thing, if you press Shift plus C or V, you can cycle through different placement types that won't show up if you just hover over different areas. So you get way more options than you'd expect. Aside from the flowers and flower pots, there are a lot of other items that can be placed on your buildings. Umbrellas can be turned into a window canopy, some small trees turn into vines, and more. This means you can really customize each house to your liking. To see all the items you can put on buildings, click on the Decorations tab and filter by Building Decorations. You'll find a lot of interesting items here. Visit this menu regularly as you unlock new items so you don't miss out on some really cool options. If you want some houses or shops to look the same without having to customize each one of them, you can use this option or press Ctrl plus C to copy and paste a certain house with all of its decorations. Your town will quickly expand before you know it, and I highly recommend keeping these things in mind as you build. First, you have to leave enough space in your neighborhood for the other shops and buildings you'll unlock later. At first, your residents will only require basic shops like food and apparel. However, as your town grows, their needs will also grow. They will need housewares, leisure, and public services. If you've built your houses too close to each other without any empty space, you'd have to do a lot of rearranging later. Moreover, the population density affects your townsfolk's happiness. If too many residents live nearby, happiness decreases. That's why I recommend leaving lots of spaces between rows of houses. Even within the rows, leave small spaces for yards, trees, plants, picnic areas, or a front and backyards. Everyone should feel like they have their own space. Then, some families prefer to be away from other neighbors, so you should reserve specific spots for isolated houses where families can enjoy peace and quiet. Speaking of family preferences, there are some families that prefer certain types of houses. Some, like I mentioned, want to be away from other neighbors. Some might want to be surrounded by flower decorations, while another prefers to be surrounded with light sources. If you place them in the wrong area, their happiness decreases. At the start of your town, you might not have the perfect area for every family preference, and it's okay to temporarily place them anywhere at first. You can click on any family and move them to a different house whenever you want. So, check your houses regularly for unhappy families, then either relocate them to a better area or add the decorations they prefer to their current home. Their happiness will increase once their needs are met. Then let's talk about roads. As you may know by now, you can resize your road brush and choose between freeform drawing or line tool for straight roads. Then we have a square and circle brushes. But something you might have missed is that you can press Ctrl plus Z to quickly undo roads you have drawn. This is extremely helpful, especially when you're using a freeform brush. When planning your town layout, I recommend building major paths first, then adding smaller paths by decreasing brush size and changing the road type to sand or dirt. For a more natural look, you can use the smallest brush size and place individual pixels along the path intersections. Another game changer for me is realizing that instead of connecting every shop within individual roads, you can just build big plazas. Simply create a large road area and connect it to your main road. Then you can place all your shops freely within that plaza. They will all be accessible via the road without needing individual connections. This saves time and looks cleaner for some areas. Your town has three classes of citizens: regular townsfolk, artisan, and bourgeoisie. Some shops require only artisans, some require only townsfolk, and some accept both. The bourgeoisie don't work at regular shops. If you're missing a specific worker type, check your other shops. For example, if my bistro has two artisans but my clockmaker needs two, and I only have regular townsfolk available, I can fire the artisans from the bistro and reassign them to the clockmaker. I can put my regular townsfolk in the bistro instead so that all my shops can still function at maximum capacity. Check the top left of your screen to see how many townsfolk and artisan workers are available. This gauge helps you decide what type of shops you can still build or if you need to reassign some workers. Artisan and bourgeoisie residents have luxury requirements. If a household isn't meeting its luxury needs, it might not be because you need more luxury buildings. It might just be a connection issue. For example, a library might not be connected to your bourgeoisie household and is connected to a regular townsfolk instead. So, the bourgeoisie isn't receiving its luxury benefit. Check the connections of shops around the household, and if a luxury building isn't connected to the right class of residents, edit the connection by clicking the shop and clicking this cogwheel icon. You can manually change which buildings a household connects to. Sometimes a building is too far or it doesn't have enough workers to connect, so you may still need to build additional shops, but always check connections first. At first, you won't have many research points, so here are my recommended upgrades for your research building. The first is second floor housing. Get this as soon as your town reaches hamlet status. It lets you add a second floor to residences, letting one house hold two families instead of one. This dramatically increases your population capacity without needing to add more buildings. Then there's the warehouse upgrades. These let you add more workers to warehouses, increasing their range without needing more buildings. You can also upgrade the warehouse's maximum worker capacity even more. Then we have the road upgrades. Upgrading roads cost a lot of money, but it is worth it. Better roads let your warehouses and shops reach further, so you need fewer workers overall. When you are short on workers, upgrade your roads instead of building more warehouses. Keep in mind that you have to upgrade your roads manually after getting this upgrade. Lastly, we have the money vault upgrade. Do not ignore this one. Your town has a maximum money capacity that fills up quickly. Once it's full, you stop earning money even though you still can. As your town expands, you might experience stuttering or lag. Beyond lowering your graphics preset, go to game settings and uncheck these options to show decoration points pop-ups and show need connection pop-ups. When these are enabled, every time you add or remove a decoration or building, pop-ups appear above affected houses showing what changed. With large towns connected to many houses, this creates tons of pop-ups that hurt performance. Disabling these options keeps your game smoother without affecting gameplay. If you have any other tips you want to share, let me know in the comments, and if you are still on the fence about getting this game, check out this next video to help you decide.